Good morning. This is Karen O'Neill from beautiful Colorado, but I am in Mexico in spirit with our LifeWave family that earned that trip down there. Congratulations, all of you. I hope some of you, there's Gregory. You can't see the palm tree. Oh, there they are. There's little palm trees. Watch his background. He's in just, what are you? You're not right in Cancun. Where are you, Gregory?
We're in Tulum, and yes, life is a beach.
That's awesome. So that's the beautiful thing about LifeWave. We can join from anywhere in the world when we're on these Zoom calls, and it's a great lifestyle. So this is our Monday morning miracle call. We just sort of tongue in cheek call it a miracle call. I want to remind you, it seems like a miracle, but it is science. We have very robust science to back everything up. But what we come here to do is to just share our stories, share what's going on with us. And when you share, and I'm inviting all of you that have a story to share it, please, all of us that we have time for. Anyway, please remember to say how you were before and just symptoms only. We don't claim to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease stated. Okay, so don't name disease names, just symptoms, because our body just goes in, the patches help the body do its work and do all kinds of wonderful things to make us healthy. So what happened, and you know how you were, what you used, and how you are now. That's how it goes. What was going on, what symptoms were happening to you, what patch or patches did we use? We usually focus on X39, but you can talk about the other ones too. And you can also ask questions. So if you would raise your hand, we'll call on you. If I'm not calling on anybody because I don't see a raised hand, there's one. Victoria, good, it's going to come on and I can see. I don't usually do this from my phone. Victoria, I'm going to turn it over to you. That was enough of me.
Hey, everybody. Wonderful to see you all here on a Monday. I had contact with somebody I went to high school with who had an issue where they had, I believe it might have been a bleed in their brain, that thing that happens in which they can sometimes become paralyzed and perhaps have problems speaking. And they reached out to me and wanted to know what we had that could help with that. So I'm looking for a way to get some input on that.
Well, I will put in right now, the first thing is you do the head protocol, and you can use a hat to put the patches on. So head protocol, and of course X39. Some people just top that X39 on the top with the glutathione and the Eon. Dr. Joan has a great story about what happened to her when she had one of those things happen and they ran to the hospital. She was able to talk when she had the hat on. She took the hat off, she could not speak anymore. And, you know, until everything got better. And doctors came in all afternoon to see the crazy hat lady. Hat on, she could speak. Hat off, she couldn't. So it is well worth trying.
So you said hat protocol, X39, and glutathione?
Well, the head protocol, it'll have it all. It should be in, right?
I know where that.
I would just add X39 to that, to the head protocol. And it can, if you're bald, it can just go right on your head if you want it to, but it's, most of us don't like it on our hair. So we put it in a hat, but it is the head protocol. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Try that. And then anybody else have anything else to add that they know? Just make sure you don't name a disease or a diagnosis. Doesn't look like it. Okay. So.
Thank you.
Also, yeah, check and go read those stories. I'm sure you do. You're always on there. So, okay, we have Sunflower next. Sunflower, thank you so much. And you guys just bless the community when you come on and talk about what's going on with you. So come on in.
Hi, my name is Sunshower, and I'm in the Sedona, Arizona area. I've been with LifeWave about 1.5 years, and I'd like to give my main testimony, and then I'd like to ask a couple of questions.
Okay.
So in 2003, someone accidentally injured me just below my lower left rib area. And I went through all kinds of modalities to try and fix this thing. And over a 17-year period, I was still in pain every single day, especially if I was driving and I was bouncing around in the car. So I always had to hold the steering wheel up like this and put my other hand underneath this area and push up. to
Oh.
support that area that nobody could figure out. 2 days after X39, it was gone.
Wow. After 17 years.
Yes, ma'am.
That is just incredible. Oh my gosh. Awesome.
I know.
Joyful.
So today I have some questions. I don't know if I can say the word blood pressure. Can I say that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, I didn't say that. An elevated state of blood.
I'm not quite sure how to put that, but yeah, like something's high when you take a number.
There you go. So it's not for myself, but my sister, and it's just elevated too much of the time, and she's ended up in the urgent care several times lately. She's 59, and I'd like to know if anybody has an idea for that. And then the second question is regarding, oh dear, another situation where one sort of ticks and is out of control behavior-wise.
Well, I think Sunshower, you're in luck because I think we have a doctor in the house.
We do, and his hand is up, so I think he's got answers.
Oh,
Maybe not on that, but I bet he does. He seems to always have answers. Dr. Tom, come on in.
Good morning. Good morning. I was just going to share a success story, and now all of a
Yay,
sudden,
start with that, and then we'll start with questions, okay?
yeah, we're talking about, one of the first things that excited me, and to tell you the truth, if it hadn't been Ann Morrow who shared this with me last year, I wouldn't have taken a look, right? We work with trusted people, and this is a relationship marketing, heart-to-heart business, right? And luckily, I have been working with her for 10 years. We're good friends, and thank God. And I was speaking at an expo the following week after I got my patches. One of the very first things that happened was a buddy of mine who had that can't move thing that we heard about. His wife came over and told me about it, and I went over and talked to him, and one of the first things I put on him was Ice Wave because he had leg pain in his weak leg. And he felt it immediately. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And so I didn't know about the clock method yet. But we also put Eon on him. And that is in the world of that, blood going wild or nerves going wild or anything going wild. Eon is a fantastic, what we call adaptogenic, right? Adaptogenic is when something's too much, the herb or the substance brings it back lower. If it's too low, it brings it back higher, right? And that's what the autonomic nervous system is all about, balancing. And we market Eon for stress and anxiety. If you look on the website, it's, it's very understated, but it's fantastic for the entire nervous system, brain, central nervous system, and it is part of the HAP protocol. I'll just share one more quick thing, Karen. I'll share two things. One is I wish I was down there eating breakfast with Gregory and Robin. I'm just looking at the masterful navigation. Yesterday, I was on a call with a young gentleman that I'm working with in South Africa, in his late 30s, 40 years old almost. Young gentleman, and he has had breaks of thought pattern, right? He's pretty well traveled and heavily medicated for many years. And one of the things we can do is help people work with their practitioners to start the conversation of how did you get this way in the first place and why do you need a medication, right? And part two of that conversation is let's get you off the medication. Anyway, that's one of the things I've loved with these technologies is helping people taper, in conversation with their practitioner. But he was describing, so he had a break that he's used to. And he was very amusing. He told me that he thought he told me that during the break, he could even see himself judging me and hating me and saying, how did Dr. Tom get me on these things, right? But the interesting thing is he was used to a 4 or 5 day resolution period. And that was over for him in 3 hours. He's been on patches for about 6 months. He tore off during that break. He tore off the patches and went on his little rampage against me, right? But then called me later and said, I can't believe this is over and I want to apologize. Right. So it's, we will continue to grow and evolve. And the cool thing is we will come back to center more quickly. It's a really interesting recovery. And that's what life's all about, is recovering, right?
Exactly.
Into the next version.
That's amazing.
Is that cool?
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. It's nice when they call and apologize. That's satisfying. Like, yes, I tried to tell you. Awesome. Thank you. And Sunflower, did we get all your questions? Did you have another question before we go to Jennifer?
So I was just curious, was that using Eon also?
He's actually been on X39. They didn't have 49 until recently, and they had to smuggle. There was a limited menu of deliverables in South Africa. And so they were actually smuggling from the UK. They had people go and they'd bring it back. Smuggling is the wrong word, but luckily they had a lot of friends who would bring back patches. And the good news for everybody, by the way, we signed on, we opened up the back office of one of the distributors in South Africa over the weekend, and the entire product line is there. So if anybody has any distributors in Africa, the product line is back up.
That is awesome. Thank
Cool?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great info. Awesome. Okay, Jennifer, let's move on with you and then Victoria.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here in Tulum, and I just had to tell a story that was so fun. Robin went to the pool bar, and this poor waiter had his head in his hands. And she asked if he was okay. And he said, "Oh, I have a really bad headache." So she pointed me in that direction. And I tried the ice wave. I asked him where on his head it hurt. And it was up on the right forehead. And then it curled all the way down beneath his ear. So we put the brown one there. And I had forgotten to ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious is your headache? And I said, on a scale of 1 to 10 now. And he goes, "No headache, nothing. So we tried the white one around, and he said, "Oh, so good." So anyway, we've checked back with him every few hours, and he's so excited. He brought another coworker over who had a little belly issue, and we gave her an Eon to try on her belly. And it was just so delightful to be able to make that kind of difference in just a few moments. So just wanted to share that.
Oh, thank you. That is so exciting, and it's so satisfying and rewarding to be able to get someone out of pain so quickly. And it demonstrates, people look at that and they can't imagine how powerful it is. They just don't believe because they don't know, but that kind of shows right away that, something good is going on. So thank you. That was awesome, Jennifer.
So I have very little Spanish, and he has just a little English, and he asked for more information. And I am so appreciative of our special app that can send things in Spanish. So that was really exciting. So thank you.
Okay. Jennifer, if you ever need to get me on a 3-way call with him, yo hablo español, yo puedo hablar con él. So I could talk to him, okay?
Oh, Karen, thank you.
Anyway, yeah, I can't do that all day, every day, but I'm happy to help occasionally with that. And, because it's kind of tough.
Gracias.
De nada, de nada. Okay, we don't have any more hands up, but I bet we have more stories. Who's got one? Oh, there we go. We've got Heidi. Come on in, Heidi.
So I don't know if I'm able to show a thing on my arm.
Well, yeah, I'll get it up there. Try it.
I don't know.
Can you go a
Anyway,
little
so I had donated plasma last week, and they I don't know if I'm able to say that much, but if I am, I'm going to continue with the story.
I guess that doesn't sound like a diagnosis to me.
Okay, good. So I donated plasma, and they didn't what's called stick me very well, and I wasn't producing plasma, and so they stick me again, and then they did my other arm. Well, I happened to have grabbed I had a page. Oh, actually I have it. I had a page of my used, I had kept track of my first month of use, and I'd put it on the back of my my notebook paper, and I had shoved it in my purse because I keep peeling them off and putting them on business cards. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is bruising. And I shoved that up the back of my shirt behind my sports bra by 2 o'clock. So that was at 7:30. By 2 o'clock that afternoon, I looked down at my arms and I'm like, whoa. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm still wearing that whole page behind my bra. And I pulled it out and I was like, wow, that did amazing.
Huh, interesting, huh?
That's
So,
it. That's all I have to share.
okay, so that's cool. Well,
But it
I'm gonna-
worked.
there's no more hands up, so I'm gonna tell you a little story. My husband had where the blood would be under his skin and turn really black. He had his arms like that for, gosh, he'd had open heart surgery like when he was like in 2005, and he had that like for 20, almost a lot of years, but by the time we did LifeWave, like 3 years ago. And in literally 2 or 3 months, most of his arm was flesh tone. Hadn't been that way for like 10, 15 years. I don't remember exactly how long, but somewhere in there. And he still always had a little bit of dark around his hand, but a lot of the flesh tone came back. So just to say, that was nothing but patches. Shannon, come on in.
Good morning. I just had a quick testimonial. Last Friday, my wife jumped on a trip out to Utah, and a friend stopped by to pick her up to drive over there, and she asked for some help. I grabbed a box. I'm going down the stairs. I turned one way, and my and my spine just said, "I do not want to do this morning." It hurt so bad. It felt like a knife went right between my shoulder blades and the back, and I had to put the box down. It was hard to breathe. It was really painful. I've had this happen a few times in many years ago. So I said, okay, I'm going to go in and grab my X39 and put it right there on the spot. I grabbed an Eon as well, and I already had an X49 at C7. And I said, I wonder how long this is going to take. And I'm not kidding you, within the hour, it was 90% better. By the end of the day, I forgotten that it even happened. And I know my body, when years past, when that had happened before, I'd be on the phone and making appointments with my chiropractor and all of that. But I believe that inflammation and swelling dropped down so much that I didn't have to go that route. And now it's a few days later and it feels fantastic still. So that's my story for today.
Yay, that's a great story. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
Awesome. All right, and now we have, it looks like Gregory. Come on in.
Hi, how are you? I'm not
I'm
Gregory.
good,
I'm
but who are
I'm
you?
Henrietta.
Henrietta. Hi, Henrietta.
Yeah. Hey, I've been using the energy patch and the SP6, and I have, in the last 2 months, I lost 11 pounds, but I have a problem now. I can't. In the middle, I'm not able to sleep like I normally, and I've been putting the sleep patch on, and I want to know if anybody has any suggestions. If I just use the energy patch too much, that I have too much energy.
Gosh, I don't know the answer to that. You can try not using it and see. I know there's a
Well,
lot
that's
of
what I'm
like,
doing. Yeah, that's
don't
what
have
I'm doing.
great
But
time for bed. There's all those things. Gregory, do you have something? Maybe not. Heidi, do you have something for that?
Yeah, when I was watching one of the videos from the founder, I still can't pronounce his name correctly. Is it Schmidt?
Yes, David Schmidt.
Okay. He said that, well, and actually Diane, my sponsor, one of my sponsors, she said that if you alternate the two, so if you're wearing the energy enhancer, only wear it during the day and then put the SB6 on at night, but do the alternation if you're doing this silent nights, stagger the SB6 and the silent nights. So don't wear both of them at the same time.
Oh, so one or the other, like back and forth, alternate
Yeah,
day,
Okay.
on alternating evenings.
nights. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. Yay, Henrietta.
thank you.
I hope you get some sleep.
Aaron, I have another thought too.
Okay.
Um,
Is it Dr. Tom?
Yeah, so David did a great presentation a couple of weeks ago on melatonin being one of the powerful antioxidants, right? We don't often talk about that, but a lot of what happens is when melatonin levels are going up, and that's what brings on sleep sometimes in a metabolically flexible body. The body goes to work, right? So Henrietta, if you've been wearing the SP6, and congrats on the weight loss, that's probably, it's an awakening of the body's detox mechanisms, right? You're flipping over into a place of ketogenesis, and you're flipping over into a place where your body's able to use fat as a fuel source. There's a lot of letting go. So while you might try glutathione during the day, in addition to the SP6, right? And tilt your body into a place where it's actually doing some detox during the day. Then the melatonin doesn't have to do the metabolic clearing work at night, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that
Wow.
makes sense. So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
so don't use the silent night, but use the glutathione during the daytime,
You
correct?
can use glutathione during the day, and you can also, Eon is really nice if you put it on a couple of hours before sleep, and that's very nice and calming. And
Okay.
I would suggest try that for, about a week, and then you can put the silent nights back on. And
So
then
should I stop using the SP6 and the energy?
No, keep doing that. Keep
Okay.
doing that. And 39.49.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, thank you. I'm gonna try that and I'll check back with you guys.
And then watch the video on the melatonin from David Schmidt. Definitely.
Thank you, guys. Love
Thank you,
these
Dr. Tom.
calls.
You know what? I hope you guys bring note and pencil. I know you can replay these, but taking notes is great. We get such good information on here. Thank you so much. And it looks like, is it Michael is next?
And my wife has always had problems sleeping, even when she was young, and she's been using like the silent night, which has been helpful. But she also had a virus about 7 years ago in her eye, the kind that works with the destroying your nerves. So that created complications. So we just recently, over the last month and a half, put an Eon above her right eye, like closer to her nose, and put the silent night on my wife's temple, where it says you're supposed to put it for sleeping. And she has had like 6 weeks of probably her best sleeping out of the last couple of years. So I did want to mention that. You do have Google Translate. So if you wanted to speak a language to somebody, you just use your Google Translate and you could have a conversation to the other caller.
Good point. Good point.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was my little comment. That's it.
Sorry. That's awesome. That's a great comment. Okay, so I know there was a thing on chat. I'm trying to see, you guys. I don't see any more hands up, but I'm sure there's somebody else with a story out there. We all have so many of them.
Looks like Sun Shower's waving her hand there.
Okay, Sun Shower, come on in.
I just had a question about the replay. Where do we find that replay? I'm never quite
Well,
sure how
Barbara
to find.
Gregory send it out as a YouTube usually, and often on Facebook Live. If you just get on Live Younger, you can just scroll down and find it, and it replays on there, doesn't it, Gregory? It'll replay on Facebook.
What replay were you asking about, Sun Shower?
About the
Melatonin.
melatonin with David Schmidt?
Yeah, see, he's doing it with Emily and himself, and he's
Oh, the
doing it.
connection?
Connection
Typically,
Live.
You'll find those in LifeWave Health YouTube.com. It's a new shortcut URL that the Live Younger community now has to get you to the LifeWave Connect YouTube channel on YouTube, which is sometimes hard to find. So if you go to lifewavehealthyoutube.com, that takes you to all of the LifeWave Connects, which are both product and business oriented, and one of the most recent product ones. So you just have to kind of sort through it.
Is LifeWave Health YouTube all together, or is there a / between?
It's all together.
together.
LifeWaveHealthYouTube.com.
Okay,
And
thank
that's-
you. Great info.
I've also gone to just YouTube and put LifeWave Health in the search and it finds it.
And it
That's
finds it. Good.
exactly right. Sometimes
Thank
there's a few others that slip in above it. So this way people can go right to it.
Right.
Great.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any more hands up? Oh, there's one. I see it. Patricia, come on in.
I have to unmute, sorry. I just wanted to share some, for me, phenomenons. I was hoping to get my knees healed right away so I could become more active again and not have to worry about my knees failing me in any situation. And my body has decided, using 39 and 49, to do some really old childhood injury recovery that I had totally forgotten about. This week, it's my thumbs. They started hurting at the large ball joint. And I thought, what in the world? What have I done? Well, I have smaller hands, and I've injured my thumbs by picking up heavy, larger objects that my hand didn't fit. And so it strained them. But I also remembered when I was really young, I was very active. So who knows what damage I've done to my body I don't know about, falling off fences, out of trees, stuff like that you forget about. But I can remember when I was younger and I would fall forward, I would always fall on my hands like this. And it would knock that joint out of place. And I thought, okay, I have to talk to my body and tell it, please fix the knees, leave the hands alone. I don't know what else to do. But anyway, I just thought it was funny that these are the things that it is actually renewing instead of the things that I thought it would renew first. So you never know what's going on. And I'm just appreciative that it's doing anything. And I'm not sure what other than 39 and 49 to get for my body. It was suggested I get glutathione for my knees. And so I don't really know. I don't have the extra money just yet to buy every product, but I'd like to kind of help this healing along. I have a new great nephew who's turning 1, and I want to be sure I can keep up with him. So thanks for listening. I think it's hysterical.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the patches, your body just instinctively knows what it wants to get fixed next. And sometimes what your wishes are don't work. Like I had things like I had this finger right here that was really, this one right here was really, really crooked. It's still a tiny bit, but it was like that. And after a few months, I realized, and it'd been several years, it was straightening out. And then we had this finger story, and Robin had a finger. We all had, a lot of us had fingers that had straightened. Well, maybe we'd wanted something else to happen, but the body heals where it needs it. So thanks for sharing. And it's doing its work. You got to be patient. So awesome.
Praise God.
So, yeah, right. So we have a little bit of time. We've got a couple of hands up. Well, we don't really have much time. It's 9:30, but let's go with, there's somebody with their hand up that just says iPhone on there. So I can't tell who it is exactly. So come on in if your hand is up and you just aren't on.
That's
and then
me.
After that.
That's me, Michelle, and I need to figure out how to get my name on there. Anyway, I've been doing patches for about 2.5 years, and I think so. Yeah, 2.5 years. Anyway, my knee was bothering me in the beginning, and just using X39, it got fine again. Well, in the last 2 or 3 months, that same knee's been really acting up, and it almost felt like it was kind of deformed. It was so swollen. And I thought, well, what's going on with that? So I started using carnosine right on my knee, right in the sore spot. And I measured both of my knees because that one, my right knee was a lot bigger. I measured them again. And after I'd used the carnosine for about 3 days, they're the same size, so it was just inflammation, I suppose. But that carnosine has really helped tremendously and quickly to ease the pain off that knee, because it feels just like it ever did. So I'm going to keep using the carnosine for a while, but it's probably just healing a deeper layer of injury. And I had an injury, a childhood injury on that knee that she just made me remember. And I had forgotten about that. I think I was about 6. And so anyway, try carnosine. You might like it.
Yeah. And there's, you know what, and the point that you're making me think of is how important it is to follow your intuition, because sometimes things work that nobody ever told us about, or, you know, so just follow your intuition. And carnosine is also a really wonderful patch. Thank you. So let's go on to Angela. And then I think we better give it back to Gregory and wrap it up. Don't forget to unmute, Angela.
Okay, there I am.
There you
Okay.
are.
So my husband had torn the meniscus in his knee in 2 places. And we used X39 during the day on the back of his neck, and then at night he used glutathione and Aeon on either side of the hurt knee. And 6 months later, he's doing deep knee bends.
Wow, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
And
so that's
this
what
has been-
happened for him.
Pardon?
That's what happened for him.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. Thank you, Angela. Okay, so I have to say, ya no tenemos más tiempo y es para Gregorio. Gregory's turn. I'm going to sign myself off, and thanks everybody for being here. And
Thank you,
let
Karen.
a bit about what's going on tonight from Mexico.
Thank
Hey,
you, Karen.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Helen.
What's that?
Karen, thank you, Karen.
Okay, you're gonna go to the doctor now?
Is-
Say that
If you're
again?
talking about a doctor.
Okay, I was just rinsing these things out. I just did the compost.
Yeah, if you could mute the
Well,
compost.
it was.
Yeah, there we go. We'll mute
I'm
the
so-
compost for a sec. The compost muted.
Don't ever mute the compost.
Don't ever mute.
Celebrate the compost.
Hey, so excited to be live from Tulum this morning, and this evening we're going to be live from Playa del Carmen. Robin and I, as well as Kai and Lynette and Carolee and Jennifer and a number of others, are kind of migrating north about 30 miles to Playa del Carmen, halfway on the way back to Cancun, where we will be flying out later on this week. And we're doing meetings on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's going to be interesting. So it's just going to be wonderful. We're doing team meetings with our Mexico team, our Playa del Carmen team. We'll have a short newsletter coming out later on today, as usual on Monday. We'll probably be doing it from the van on the way there, but we're here for you and so delighted. So thanks everyone for being part of this great Live Younger LifeWave opportunity and community. And if you want to unmute yourself and say hello or goodbye, now would be a good time to do that.
Hasta
Hello
la
and
vista.
goodbye.
Hey.
Have a great day.
Have a great day, Robin.
Have a
Greg.
good week.
Great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you for coming in from
Bye-bye.
Mexico and celebrating with
Bye,
us.
everybody. Thank you for the.
Adios,
Bye,
everybody.
Adios.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Sending greetings to Barbara Lippincott and the whole crew there from Jennifer.
Beautiful.
Adios, amigos.
Adios.
Thanks for your presentation last week, Tom.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.